Hello my friends, I'm going to read to you the next part of A Look in the Dark, and this chapter is about the code, and this is the second part of the chapter. But I just was doing a little research. Some may think, is there really a problem with an illegal trade in birds and animals? Let me just read you this. This is from a website called BirdLife International. It says, large numbers of birds are illegally traded in every year despite national laws and international trade agreements. In Latin America, recent studies have shown that high levels of exploitation are causing local population declines and threaten many species of parrots. In Europe, large numbers of songbirds are smuggled into Italy and Malta from southeast and central Europe to be consumed as a delicacy. The criminal trade is estimated to be worth 10 million euros a year. Now that's internationally recognised. People like the Royal Society for Prevention of Birds subscribe to this BirdLife International idea, I believe. So it just shows that this is still a real problem in the world we live in. So they'd been to Stanhurst's office when he wasn't there, done a little investigating of their own. They'd made a report to Richard Claymore, and he was now raising the question, could Theo, can he be trusted? The response was in stereo, a loud yes from Carol and a no from Danny. They looked at each other and laughed. Danny looked at Sir Richard, noticing that he had a matching red cravat and handkerchief, the latter hanging from his sport jacket breast pocket. Working class Danny was still amazed at his friendship with the Etonian Sir. It's like this, Ricky, he began to explain. Carol is certain that Theo can be trusted completely. I'm fairly certain, but at this stage I would not like to risk our lives to him. There's no need to panic though, he knows nothing about our whereabouts, and the van's now in a breaker's yard some miles away, and it was never registered in our names. To Theo we're anonymous, though we can contact him any time we like. Ricky looked at the couple in front of him. True working class heroes, he was thinking. Congratulations to you both. I'm amazed at the speed with which you have access to so much. Ricky gestured at the records. I'm concerned about the risks you took, but I guess we all know this is dangerous. I feel increasingly aware that it is you two who are at risk, so far anyway. What I'm trying to say is, well, dear friends, you've achieved success beyond my expectations so quickly. If these records contain what we all think. Congratulations are only in order, Ricky, if we can crack Stanhurst's code. That's why we need an extra brain. So can I suggest we got on with some attempts at cipher breaking? Listen, old boy, you don't think we should go to the police now, do you? No, not yet. Ricky turned to Carol. What about you, dear girl? I feel just the same as Dan. Too soon. When would anyone in the overworked British police force start sorting this lot out? I mean, in a hidden code? Carol picked up a handful of the records. I didn't spend hours in terror of Stanhurst arriving to have them disappear in some overstretched cop shop. I can see your point, Carol, but I have been attending a double funeral. I could have been attending a double funeral. It worries me. Well, it didn't happen, and right now it worries us that we have all this information that we can't read. Not yet. Right, Danny? Right, Carol. Look, Ricky, when I get into this, I didn't think I was in the SAS or something. I had not a scrap of training for this kind of thing, and I know it was very poorly planned. I had doubts at the start, but we still got great results. We just have to sort out the puzzle of the record keeping. When we see what's been revealed, then we can decide on the next move. Until then, we can't decide anything. Yes, Danny, but you do have extraordinary powers of observation. That's proven. Aye, Uncle Ricky, you're right about Dan. But the nightjars don't shoot informers. Heaven forbid, dear girl, we would be the endangered species then. Did you ever read Daphne du Maurier's The Birds? Carol asked. Best watch those parrots of yours. At this point, Danny handed a sheet of paper to his wealthy friend, asking if they were taught anything about codes eaten. As the page was examined, Ricky Claymore could see that there was a large problem, like a wall blocking the way forward. He asked what the young couple had already tried and was informed that they'd started out with the obvious alphabet reversal, then starting at a different letter for A and then following through. For example, Danny held up a scribbled pad and it read like this. Danny explained that they'd got as far as starting with Y for A and none of it worked. Sir Richard Claymore started to chuckle as he lifted up the wrap present that he had carried in and placed on the floor by his seat. Seems I brought you the most appropriate present, my friends. When Carol opened the present, they too saw the chance humour of the choice of gift. As Carol placed the beautiful object on the piled high table and she and Danny expressed their thanks, Ricky didn't bother to tell them that that was a rare antique article. It was a French cliché checker paperweight from about 1850, and he certainly wasn't going to tell them its value. He was thinking about working out the code. So what are we trying next then, Danny, he asked. To be honest, Ricky, I haven't got a clue. At 3 o'clock they still hadn't a clue, and Danny was beginning to get frustrated. The thought crossed his mind that maybe the law enforcers would have experts for this kind of thing. How would he know though? And what if it was all shoved away somewhere and forgotten about? He caught Carol's eye and she suggested that she go out and get a Chinese takeaway. Right, Rick, time for a break. Clear our heads. I'll show you the garden. As the two men went through the kitchen to the garden, Carol put on her shoes and was amused by the different styles of the three of them. Danny had his papers strewn across the table in order but covering much space. Ricky had paper all over the floor and all over the sofa, and hers were in two neat piles. She didn't know what they were at, but she was trying to work out the vowels and had little success thus far. She could hear the voices through the open back door, first the refined, slightly marble in the mouth tones of Sir Richard Claymore. Well, old boy, you could have had some grand Averys out here. You have a dreadful lot of space. Then the Somerset country town accent of her husband. No jailbirds in my garden, thank you. All my birds come by choice. Your garden's wormwood scrubs. Mine's the Hilton for birds. Carol, going out by the front door, was happy that her husband was no longer afraid to hold his own with the kindly nobleman. In the garden, the friendly banter continued. Oh, and do you know what wormwood scrubs is like then, Danny? No, but the way you operate that business of yours, you'll soon be able to tell me. Come now, Daniel, who was it that did a little breaking and entering in London recently? The laughter of the two men eventually turned into an engaging conversation about the developing wildlife garden. Carol, in the meantime, was waiting at the traffic lights at the bottom of Lock's Hill in Frome, getting a little impatient about the red light. She read the registration plate of the car in front, Pam 21G. She wondered if it was a 21st birthday present from Pam's father, and it was just the plates or the whole red Golf GTI that had been given. As the lights changed to green, Pam shot off to the right, foot to the floor, and with little regard for speed limits. Carol turned left and then thought about the other number plate, W066 Con. Then she remembered those cold steel blue eyes and the abuser of wildlife who owned them. Now that unpleasant individual seemed to worship the Norman invader William the Conqueror. Then as she pulled up outside the takeaway, a further thought crossed her mind. Well, she thought, that might just be worth a try. So there it is, my friends, the second part of the chapter code. What is it that Carol thinks might just be worth a try? The next episode will reveal that. Thank you for listening, and I just thought it was nice at the start to show that there is actually a real problem with this international trade in birds and animals. Of course, many of us know what the real solution is going to be, but in the meantime, it would be nice to think that something could be done to protect the beautiful life on this planet, wouldn't it? Thanks very much for listening, and talk to you soon, my friends. Bye-bye. Bye.